friends, this is Casey at the Bodie's Homestead. In today's video, I'm going to discuss with you an article that I've come across. A string of fires destroys food processing facilities across America. Now, I know I said I wasn't going to continue doing news articles, but I felt like if there were one here or there that wasn't really fear-mongering, but yet promoting awareness and coming to the realization that we are going to see food shortages, those are the kinds of news articles I want to be reading about. I don't want to be reading about the ones that are like panic buy, hoard, oh my gosh, it's the end of the world, like the kind that I was doing a few months ago. This news article has a lot of really good information in it, and it just gets you thinking. And I feel like this is the kind of news that people need to hear in order to prepare themselves for the future. A curious string of fires and plane crashes over the last month have destroyed the facilities of at least five major food processors across four different states, exacerbating an escalating inflation, and supply chain crisis that is quickly becoming chronic. The most recent instance appears to be the destruction of an Oregon-based Azure Standard joint headquarters and warehouse facilities during the night of April 18th. This is the main headquarters for Azure Standard, and I wanted to make this video because I know I promote Azure Standard and a lot of you shop with Azure Standard, and we did receive emails. I am a drop coordinator in my city for Azure Standard, and so as things have developed, we have been getting updated information. In a text of an email alerting affiliates to the damage, the company describes itself as the U.S.'s largest independent food distributor, and they are. It notes that basically any liquid product such as honey, oil, vinegar will be out of stock as a result of the damage. Now, with that being said, they did say that they're going to work really hard to get things back in stock. If you're ordering right now or in the next couple of weeks, or not even the next couple of weeks, maybe the next week, you will still be able to get some of your things, but I do think there is going to be a little bit of a shortage with these items. So be patient with them. Remember that they are the largest independent food distributor in the U.S., and they are working very hard to get things back up and running. Azure Standard also states it's lost its fruit picking and carob produce facility in the blaze, but expects limited effect as a result of the fruit harvesting season not yet being in swing. Okay, the blaze appears to have been received almost zero media attention, only being covered in a terse rewrite of the press release by a small-town media outlet, Columbia George News, and the Columbia Community Connection News blog. The CCC reported that records from the local county sheriff's log stated lights flickered, then they heard a pop and went to check it out, and there was a fire. By the time fire responders arrived, with only a truck and 4 men, there was already a hole in the roof with flames bursting forth. It took approximately 45 minutes for reinforcement units to arrive. According to the outlet, company CEO David Stetzler was on the scene when the fire occurred. Additionally, Fire Chief John Kaiser Jr. was paraphrased as stating Stetzler was removing paperwork from the building when his initial crew arrived on scene. Kaiser was further paraphrased as stating the building was loaded with fuels including vegetable and nut oils made from canola, coconut, and olives, which made the fire difficult to handle with water, as foam-based products are required to smother the flames. Okay, so I've actually received an update in my email from Azure. It appears that corn stored in the facility is what set off the fire. They think that either it combusted within itself or maybe it triggered an electrical outlet. However, they did say it was stored in a cooler, which is odd to me that why would it combust? And I don't think there are outlets stored inside coolers. So it's strange. Taylor Farms. On April 13th, a major food California processing plant belonging to Taylor Farms burned almost completely to the ground. USA Today affiliate The California quoted Deputy Fire Chief Sam Klemick as saying about 85 to 95% of the building is a total loss. The article states the facility employed almost 1,000 people. There are parts of the buildings that are separate and they are still operational. As far as the main processing facility, it's considered a total loss. Okay, the next one. Gem State Processing. The same day as the Taylor Farm fire, an airplane crashed into Idaho's Gem State Processing Plant. A release by the local police department said that while the pilot did not survive, no employees were injured. April 18th, reporting by Daily Mail identified the pilot as 30-year-old woman with 11 years of flight experience who was transporting UPS packages from Salt Lake City. The next one, Maricopa Food Pantry. On March 28th, Maricopa Food Pantry, a local food bank in Arizona, lost 50,000 pounds worth of food in a fire that occurred just 15 minutes after the food bank closed, according to CBS affiliates Arizona Family. Company president Mike Connolly described the blaze as a 40 to 50 feet in the air, just pure black smoke that engulfed the entire neighborhood. The article at the time stated the cause of the fire was unknown, but paraphrased Connolly as posting, trailers with more than 100 gallons of diesel fuel to refrigerate food made it much worse. AZ Central cited CEO Jim Schoaf in stating that 15,000 pounds of meat, 40,000 pounds of canned goods, and other commodities were lost in the blaze. April 20th, reporting by ABC 15 said that Phoenix-based St. Mary's Food Bank had replenished the 3 trailers and 50,000 pounds of food with lost inventory from its own supply. So that's good. They were able to replace the food that they lost. But still, they're pulling food from another place. So even though they've replaced that food, the food that they pulled from somewhere else is now gone. Shears Foods. On March 22nd, Tri-City Herald reported that the Shears Foods potato chip plant in Hermiston, Oregon, was gone after a boiler explosion and its subsequent fire annihilated the facility. The outlet reported that the boiler was fueled by natural gas and that the company supplied potato and corn chips throughout the western United States. 7 employees were hospitalized in the blast, and the Herald stated the facility is home to nearly 400. Far from isolated incidents, there are also several additional instances of similar calamities in recent weeks. On March 31st, Texas-based Rio Fresh suffered a fire that severely damaged an onion processing facility. Local media outlet KRGV reported the site employed 300 people and that hundreds of thousands of warehouse space and structure was damaged by the fire. One staff member was quoted as stating, "If I had to guess, anywhere from 50 to 100 truckloads of onions were lost in this fire. You could still see them burning in the distance." On March 16th, a massive fire wiped out much of a Walmart fulfillment center in Plainfield, Indiana, an event serious enough that it brought in the ATF to investigate. For New Hampshire's East Conway Beef and Pork, disaster struck on April 11th when a fire broke out serious enough that it took respondents 16 hours to extinguish. Local news outlets, however, described the company as merely a local butcher shop. 2 cows were lost in the disaster. Okay, so that's the article. It really makes you think. It's, the conspiracy theorists and a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, this is the government working at hand. There's no way this is a coincidence. People are, taking out our food distribution because we're going to have food shortages and they need a way to, cover it up or, something to blame or things like that. But regardless of what you believe, don't be afraid. Be prepared. Go out today and stock up on some things. And every time you go to the grocery store, you can add just a little bit more and a little bit more, and soon you'll have a full pantry and you'll have peace of mind. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.